Hello, today is Tuesday, May the 17th, 2016, and it's primary day in Oregon and Kentucky. And today I voted, and I voted for Mr. Bernie Sanders, and also voted for Mr. Cellis Wilder for Democrat in the Democrat Senate race. And wanted to express my concerns and frustrations with the primary process for 2016, and particularly the Democrat Party. It's been a while since I've made one of these videos, so I want to try and get back in the swing of things. Had a lot going on these last few months. I wanted to talk about something that I found particularly interesting, and that's in today's paper. I live in far western Kentucky. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can. I live in far western Kentucky in the city of Paducah in McCracken County. And they have a local paper here called the Paducah Sun, formerly the Paducah Sun Democrat. Two headlines, front page headlines that caught my attention. One headline reads, "Low turnout predicted for primary today, by a Miss Mallory Panuska. And the other headline is, "Clinton pays visit to Paducah," and that is by Mr. Joshua Roberts. The opening of the last headline in particular, or in the early opening of the Clinton pays visit to Paducah, she said in a quotation here, and I quote, "I'm excited about the primary," said Clinton, the former First Lady, U.S. Senator, and Secretary of State, continuing to quote, "We've got to turn a lot of people out," end quote, close quote. And then in the very same section of the newspaper, headline reads, "Low turnout predicted for primary today." All along and throughout this process, this Democratic primary process, we have seen where a low voter turnout, quote unquote, favors Mrs. Clinton over Mr. Sanders 3-1 if it's an ounce. Whereas if it's a caucus or an open primary process, that favors Mr. Sanders 10-1 over Mrs. Clinton. We're told and have been told by the powers that be within the Democrat Party, and particularly here in my own home state, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, by the powers that be, that we can't open our primary process up. That a primary process is a closed process. It's a party thing. It's about party. It's about Democrat Party and getting Democrats, quote unquote, to turn out and vote for our respective candidates on the ballot, up and down the ticket. And that's great and fine and wonderful, and it has its merits. But where does that leave the voter? Because it's nice to have this quote-unquote slate of candidates to run for a particular office, but if they don't get any votes, or the only votes that they quote-unquote get are from people who are registered as Democrat, they don't win past the primary. They don't go on to a quote-unquote general election where the process is then open to everybody in a general election. Okay, the party politic, the party process is closed and concluded, and we've got our supposed people on the Democrat side, and we've got our supposed people on the Republican side, but that's really it, you know? And so this is the argument that the Sanders people have. You complain and you lament that you want more voter participation, more voter turnout. We've got to get the voter, got to get out the vote. Get out the vote, get out the vote. But when it comes to opening the process up and having primaries and having caucuses where it's people coming to vote that don't necessarily have a D or an R behind their name, they may have an I, they may have a decline to say, they may have a libertarian, they may have Constitution Party, Hell's bells, they may even have Socialist Party or Communist Party behind their name. What difference does it make? They're a registered voter. They're a taxpayer. They work. They have a home. They have a family. They have, they have a life. And so they want to, as such, to maintain that, to participate in the electoral process and vote for the candidate or candidates of their choice, regardless of who they are and where they come from. So this idea that, well, we've got to close things down and that it's between party and it's a process and we just need to hear from this one and that one and that one and this one and that's it. That's it. We don't need any more help. It's for crap. And then the other thing is all along this media, my God. Low turnout predicted for primary today. This is in Western Kentucky. And again, I'm quoting Mrs. Clinton on a campaign stop. She visited a local diner here in Paducah called the Lone Oak Little Castle. It's owned and operated by Reverend Roy Trimble. I'll let you Google that. Lone Oak Little Castle and Reverend Roy Trimble. Quote, this quotation stands out. Quote, I'm excited about the primary. We've got to turn a lot of people out. End quote, close quote. And then a headline reads, low turnout predicted for primary today. It is indicative of something that I've been talking about for the longest time called media-induced voter suppression. It used to be front and center on a thing called Ballotpedia, and I've got it under one of my videos. I've got a link to it, but you can't even pull the link up anymore because somebody somewhere has shut it down. It was chock full of information. The video's still up. It's just what I'm talking about, and concerning media-induced voter suppression is no longer available on the internets. The media they have their candidate of choice. In this case, it's Mrs. Clinton and Mr. Trump. By the way, Mr. Trump, enjoy that quote-unquote media bubble for as long as you can, sir, because in due course, that's going to end. It's already showing signs of ending rapidly concerning this quote-unquote New York Times hit piece that's out on you about how you treat women. But it's called media-induced voter suppression. And they put up titles or articles like this: low turnout predicted for primary today. And then they have pollsters and pundits and million-dollar crap talkers on MSNBC and CNN and Fox News and C-SPAN's Washington Journal and Lament and Wax Poetic about, oh God, there's just so low, the voter turnout, oh God, it's so low, oh God, what are we going to do? We don't have any voters. Dummy, open the damn primaries. My God, it's 10-1 for Bernie Sanders. You've got people in the state of New York, 3 million voters were shut out in New York State alone. Couldn't vote. AO. Here in the state of Kentucky, there's nearly 500,000 students. Western Kentucky University and the University of Kentucky and Murray State University in far western Kentucky, here where I am, 500,000 students between those three universities that can't vote because it's a closed primary, closed to party only. You've got to either be a registered Democrat or a registered Republican to participate. And the general election, don't matter what you are, because by that time it's over and done with. They've got their quote-unquote choice. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, quote-unquote, I guess. I talked to Went to my polling place today. I voted. I stood in line. I talked to the poll workers there. They said that the first thing this morning at 6 o'clock when the polls open, polls are open here in Kentucky from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. At the door, they said there were 50 people standing at the door at my polling place where I vote. And as I was standing in line at that particular time, they said that that was the first quote-unquote lull of the day as far as the number of voters that they received for that day. And when I was in line, which was about 11:30 this morning, there was probably 20 people. And, got through the line fairly well. The process went well, no problem at all. Cast my vote, put it in a paper ballot right here, sample ballot right here, just like this, and put it in the little e-slate machine that reads the vote and counts the vote, and the little man gave me this sticker right here for participate. No problem. It should be that way for everybody. Regardless of party, regardless of who you are, what you look like, who you love, where you come from, you should be able to participate in American democracy. This is our America, our country, our democracy. It's ours. It belongs to us. It belongs to we, the people. And I hear over and over and over again how we don't have enough participation. We don't have enough people to come and vote. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. My own state, Secretary of State, Allison Lundergan Grimes, bless her soul, will go on public television, Kentucky Educational Television, PBS affiliate, on programs like Kentucky Tonight and comment on Kentucky and lament and wax poetic how the low voter turnout is so low. It's so low in the state. Nobody wants to participate. Nobody wants to be involved. Oh God. The head of the Kentucky Democrat Party here, Sandy Overley, Kentucky State Representative, good woman, fair enough, will go on the exact same thing. Kentucky Tonight, comment on Kentucky. My God, we don't have enough participation. Oh God. Open the damn primary process up. Independents decline to say and other are just like you. Hell's bells, Sandy, they may be your next door neighbors. What difference does it make what party stripe they are? Whether they are or are not a Democrat or are not a Republican. Who cares? They're a voter. Let them vote. It's stupid. It's just stupid. And you want to, across the country, 3 million voters in New York State, shut out. AO. I would suspect that would probably be maybe 1 million, 2 million. I don't know, maybe even the whole 3 million that would have went for Bernie Sanders. Nevada, they had a damn Royal Rumble at WWE Royal Rumble at the damn Democrat State Convention. People were arrested and turned out. It reminded me of 2012 when they screwed over Republicans, screwed over Dr. Ron Paul, who I supported. I mean, screwed him over. They broke a man's hip in the state of Louisiana. Police, Louisiana State Republican Party Convention. Man is just trying to speak, and police arrest and break the man's hip. 70-some-year-old man break his hip because he wanted to try and speak and make a point about the process. And then they have the temerity and the nerve to wonder, what's wrong with people? Oh, you're so violent. You're so angry. You're so upset. We're pissed because you stealing our vote. You stealing our process. We don't like that. Pardon us all to hell for complaining. Leave our stuff be. Let us participate. Let us do as we were called to do so long ago, to keep and safeguard the republic, quote unquote, the democracy. Up to us. The founders put it up to us, you quote unquote, the founders, the founding fathers. They gave it to us to participate. We the people, citizen government. And that's what citizens are trying to do. They're trying to do government. But yet you've got people like Allison Lundgren Grimes and Sandy Overly and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Dear Debbie Wasserman Schultz, Congresswoman Schultz, Chairwoman Schultz, lady, you need to resign. You just need to resign. You need to not only resign your chairmanship of the Democrat National Committee, but your congressional seat for the state of Florida. You need to resign, and you and your husband and your children need to go back home to Tallahassee, or Tampa, St. Pete, where you belong. Please, okay? Go home. You've got multiple degrees in law and government. Open up a law practice and stay there. Don't do nothing else but be an attorney. You and your husband, who has multiple degrees himself, open up a family law practice and just stay there. Okay? We don't need to hear from you anymore. We don't need to see you. You have zero credibility now, madam. Zero. You've all but ruined Tulsi Gabbard. You've all but ruined the Democrat Party as a whole. And you've all but ruined the voting process, period, as a whole. With the special weapons and tactics that you and yours have come up with to rig the process for Hillary Rodham Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, folks, is an evil, evil woman. Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton is an evil, evil woman. She has no business in law and government. I'm sorry. People want to talk about you don't have enough people in this. There are people that need to participate and people who don't. Mrs. Clinton is one of those folks that doesn't need to participate, as is with Debbie Wasserman Schultz. They don't need to participate because all they do is destroy and take away what others have built and worked on, and what I am and others like me are trying to preserve, protect, and defend. So that people like you that are watching this video who say, oh, what's the use? Why should I bother? Why should I participate? I'm just going to get shut out. Not if you stand and fight and expose these people for who and what they are and sign petitions. MoveOn.org, Move to Amend, Public Citizen, Change.org, Avaz.com. There are great petitions, online petitions there to sign and add your name to. And they get to these people, folks. These senators and these congressmen in Washington, D.C., they're people. They have people in offices. They have a whole division that all they do now is answer people's petitions and deal with and process petitions. That's all they do. That's their sole and lone job, is to handle and process petitions and lawsuits, I guess. against senators and congressmen and against the President of the United States. President Obama is being sued and has been sued all the time. Senators and congressmen get sued all the time. Government, period, gets sued all the time. And it's democracy, it's voting, it's participating, regardless of the powers that be, quote unquote. And, see something, say something, attitude, screw them. Participate. Go to the poll, stand in line, stand online. I want to vote. I have a right to vote. I'm an American. I work, I pay taxes, I own a home, I own a car, I have a family. I am an American, and as such, I want to participate in my democracy, in my democratic process. Just do it. After this process is over with, regardless of how it shakes out, quote unquote, I'm through with the Democrat Party. I'm going to independent, or I'm going to decline to say. I don't know what it's going to be, but most likely it'll be independent, maybe decline to say. I don't know. But I participate in the election process, and I participate in voting in honor of my father and my grandfather, who were both veterans. My father, veteran of the Vietnam War, and my grandfather, World War II veteran, both in the Army. And along with my uncles, who were all in the Army, and other veterans. That's my way of saying thank you. I look at voting as my way of saying thank you. Even though I verbalize that almost every day to veterans that I see out, I say thank you. This is my way of doing it. This is my way of showing them thank you. Because this right here, even though it's a little 5-cent sticker, this wasn't free. The voting process, period, folks, ain't free. It was bought and paid for with the price of blood, of somebody's life, somebody's limbs, somebody's wife, somebody's son, somebody's grandson, who went out and did what their country told them to do. And they participated in democracy. And, this is my way of saying thank you. But it disgusts me to no end when I see and I read crap like this in this damn newspaper right here. And headlines like this. This is typical headline across the country of the crap that goes on and has gone on for I don't know how many years. It's got to stop. And it stops when people stand in line and stand online, and regardless of the day or the hour or the time, they say, damn it, I'm here to vote and I'm going to vote. My vote counts. My voice matters. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.